For 10,000 cycles, the wreck Imperium dominated the stars, apex predators whose evolutionary path had gifted them with natural armor, venomous claws, and an instinctual drive to conquer. Their ships prowled the void between worlds like sharks in a cosmic sea, and lesser species trembled before them. Admiral Cragg stood on the command deck of the dreadnought, Eternal Dominance, his scaled hide reflecting the blue glow of tactical displays. He watched dispassionately as the planet below surrendered, the 15th this season. The inhabitants, fragile herbivores called the Melosians, had lasted precisely 2 days against the wreck invasion force. Pathetic, he rumbled, mandibles clicking in disgust. Another world of prey. Admiral? His second-in-command approached cautiously. The conquest proceeds as expected, but there's a report you should see. Cragg's slitted eyes narrowed as he reviewed the data. An unknown vessel had been detected at the edge of the system, observing. When wreck scout ships approached, it vanished, faster than any known propulsion system could account for. A new species? Cragg asked, interest finally peaked. Yes, Admiral. They call themselves humans. Intelligence suggests they've only recently developed faster than light travel. Cragg dismissed the concern with a wave of his armored hand. New spacefaring races appeared occasionally. All eventually submitted to wreck supremacy or were exterminated. The natural order of the galaxy was clear. Predators ruled, prey served. 3 cycles later, Cragg was summoned to the Imperial throne on Vrek Prime. The Emperor rarely called military leaders directly, preferring to let his bureaucracy handle routine conquests. The throne room stretched for half a kilometer, built from the fossilized remains of the first species the wreck had conquered. The Emperor's massive form loomed ahead, flanked by his elite guard. Admiral Cragg, the Emperor's voice echoed, you will investigate these humans. Reports indicate they've established colonies in 3 systems bordering our territory. They've been unusually quiet. Majesty, should they not be simply conquered? They are merely another prey species. The Emperor leaned forward. Intelligence reports suggest something different about them. 4 of our scout ships sent to their territory have disappeared without communication. Proceed with caution. Cragg departed with a full battle group. 15 warships capable of reducing continents to ash. Overkill for first contact, but wreck doctrine emphasized overwhelming force. They arrived at the human colony world designated New Eden after 4 days in hyperspace. Scans showed modest settlements, primitive defenses, a textbook conquest scenario. Open. Communications, Cragg ordered. Deliver the standard ultimatum. The view screen flickered to life, showing a human female. She appeared small, soft, with no natural weapons, the very definition of prey. This is Governor Davis of New Eden. How can we help you? Her voice betrayed no fear. Cragg delivered the message he'd given 100 times. Your world is now claimed by the wreck Imperium. Surrender and serve, or be eradicated. The human smiled. Not the terrified grimace of prey, but something else. Something predatory. I'm afraid that won't be possible, she replied calmly. But I invite you to send a delegation to discuss alternatives. Cragg laughed, a harsh sound like grinding metal. There are no alternatives. You have one planetary rotation to decide: submission or extinction. The transmission ended. Cragg turned to his tactical officer. Prepare bombardment patterns. At dawn, alarms wailed. The tactical display showed multiple objects emerging from hyperspace, directly behind the wreck battle group. Impossible, hissed the sensor officer. Nothing can calculate jumps with such precision. Before Cragg could respond, half his fleet erupted in silent explosions. The remaining ships pivoted desperately, weapons charging. They faced not a fleet of warships, but small agile craft that danced between wreck targeting systems. For every human vessel destroyed, 3 wreck ships fell. What is happening? Cragg roared as his flagship shuddered under impact. They're boarding us, came the stunned reply. Security feeds showed human soldiers moving through the ship. They were smaller than the wreck, physically weaker, with no natural armor or claws. Yet they moved with practiced precision, neutralizing wreck. Warriors with strange weapons that bypassed armor entirely. Crag drew his ceremonial blade. If he must die, he would do so fighting. The bridge doors exploded inward. Through smoke stepped a human male, unarmed, wearing what appeared to be a simple uniform. Admiral Crag, I presume. The human spoke calmly, as if discussing the weather. I'm Admiral Thomas. I'd like to discuss terms. Wreck, do not surrender to prey. Crag snarled, lunging forward. The human sidestepped with startling speed, and Crag felt something press against his neck. Pain followed, then numbness as he collapsed. That's where you're mistaken, Thomas said, holstering his weapon. Humans aren't prey. On our world, we evolved as persistence predators. We don't have claws or venom or natural armor because we didn't need them. We hunted by outlasting, outthinking, and adapting. Crag's vision dimmed as the paralytic took effect. The last thing he heard was the human's voice. The galaxy had apex predators for millennia. Now it has humans, and we're just getting started. Word spread quickly through the Imperium. For the first time in recorded history, a wreck battle group had been defeated. The Emperor called for reinforcements, for full mobilization. But it was already too late. Human diplomatic vessels arrived at Wreck Prime offering terms, not of surrender, but coexistence. Behind the diplomats waited the human fleet, its full capabilities still unknown. The Wreck, who had evolved to recognize greater predators, understood what had happened. They had ruled the stars without fear, until they met humans.